Hey guys, welcome to Money Mindset and More. And today I'm going to cover a very important topic, what mistakes to avoid in your small business or in startup or maybe in big business as well. I will cover several points, not in any specific order. You can reference them based upon your current scenarios. You might be doing some of those, you might not be doing, but you might get a good list of points which you should be definitely discussing with your larger teams or co-founders and things like that. First point is neglecting market research. I will never recommend that you will go for any venture or any new product or any new service without doing a proper market research, because then your solution and offering or product will be based upon a lot of assumptions which is bound to fail, and ultimately your product or service is going to fail in the market. So not neglecting market research is extremely important for you. The next one is not defining your problem completely. Without defining a problem, if you jump onto the solution, your solution is going to be either solving 50% problem for a customer or not solving at all, or it might be complicating the problem itself. So you have to understand that you clearly define the problem which you are going to solve. It can be anything, it can be a simple product or service, but your understanding has to be very clear on that. Also, you don't have to overcomplicate the business process. Most of the time I've seen people complicate their revenue models, profit sharing model, EBITDA model, and things like that. I will recommend you should definitely have a very simple model of having the cost structure in place, how you are going to make money out of it, and what profit you are going to retain, rather than complicating it with EBITDA and other things. Personally, I'm not very keen on running EBITDA earnings because tax, depreciation, and other things are real. So if you keep all those things real, you might get a real number what you are looking for. Next point is uh, ignoring financial planning. So if you not planning your costing structure or your cash flow structure or your profit loss structure properly, then you will either underestimate or overestimate cost, and you will either have a lot of profit but very less sales, or a lot of sales without profit. So you have to have a balanced approach, proper costing, proper cash flow statements, so that you know what you are going to deliver in the market. In ideal scenario, you should have a plan for at least 2 years, if not definitely for 12 to 18 months. That's the proper financial planning you need to do. Failing to do that, you will have a lot of cash flow problems. The next point is failing to build a strong team. This will probably the one of the first one, I would say. If you don't have a team which is strong, complementing each other, you will not last very long. Most of the startup fails within 5 years and 10 years time frame. The reason is that they are not able to build a very strong teams. And if you analyze the best companies in the world, you will find out they were able to build a very strong team very early in their what you call forming stage and things like that. And that's how they were able to scale later on very fast. The next point is rushing too much to scale. Again, unless until you have your core operations in place, scaling too fast will be a disaster for you. There are many companies who have scaled a lot and ultimately they failed. WeWork is a classic example. You can see the case study on that. They've expanded too much and then ultimately they declare bankruptcy. So scaling too much without core operation in place will be definitely a problem for you. The next one is ignoring your customers' feedback. That is very common. People think that they are right. If you are a technology company, you might think, no, you are right. Customer is not listening to you. Or if you are a domain company, you will feel that I know the domain, customer doesn't know anything. In reality, you need to hear your customers' feedback. It does not matter whether they are right or wrong. We are not here to judge whether customer is right or wrong. We are here to listen to customers' feedback, what they are trying to say. Most of the time, if you just listen to them, the problem will be solved. You can take your example itself. If you have a bad experience in a restaurant or with Amazon or anybody, if somebody just listen to you, you might not even ask for compensation. Most of the time nobody listens, and that's where escalations happens. So always listen to your customer feedbacks. The next one is also very important, overlooking your marketing and branding. Most company feels that it's not very important feature of the business. That is not true. Unless you are making products like Japanese companies, if you are in the rest of the world, branding and marketing matters a lot. You should definitely take care of those two features. If you don't have a clear messaging in the market, your branding and messaging will be messed up and you will not be able to differentiate in a commodity market. And most of the company are in commodity business. They are just doing things differently. They are not doing different things. They are doing things differently. Classic example is Walmart and Amazon. Both are selling same products, but the way of selling, way of doing customer service is totally different. So you need to figure out how to do things differently rather than different things. That has to be very clear. Most of us are in commodity business, most of us. Next one is failing to adopt technology trend. So many companies feel that no, they are not very willing to take certain steps in technology, or they think that is not relevant for them. That is not true. Any industry can be impacted by technology, and after artificial intelligence, it is going to be key for each and every industry to look into that, whether it is pure play real estate, construction, mining, where you need a lot of labor. Even there, a lot of use of AI will be involved. For example, sensor based data, how much to dig for mining, how much you need to do housing in certain zoning based upon fire, forest, and other requirements. AI can expedite anything. So any industry, if they are thinking they are not going to impacted by technology, they are fundamentally wrong. Next one is not developing and protecting your intellectual property rights. If you are innovating, if you're claiming you are innovating and you don't have any IPs, then basically you are just bluffing with yourself. So first you have to innovate, whether it is a process, product, or services, and then you have to make sure that it is protected against competition so that you will have at least a moat or a competitive advantage in the commodity business. Definitely very important for you to take care of in your startups. Next one is you have to make sure you're not ignoring data security. This is going to be key. You must have heard of what other big players are saying, Facebook, Meta, and others. Data security has to be upmark. It does not matter how small or big you are. If you are small, you should be more careful because it can just wipe up your business in a day. So definitely invest and integrate in your internal processes. The next one is underestimating your competition. This I have seen in most of the small companies or startups. They underestimate their competition. They will go to the market and say, oh, these are the big companies, they are not our competitors. They will tell customer will take care of you. These big companies will not take care of you. Fundamentally, that assumption is wrong. Any company which is big today, they never underestimate any competition. It does not matter how small the competition is. That is why they keep killing the competition in bigger space, because their attitude is very simple. Every competition is a serious threat. Anybody can take their business in a day. So that's the approach, that's the mindset you have to develop. It is all about mindset, not about your size. The next one is lack of focus. You need to have a very specific area, audience, demographic, and services to focus upon. If you divert too much and diversify too much, you might lose focus and you will not grow in any of those areas. You might start focusing a little bit on, let's say, a complementary services and things like that, which might increase your profit and margin in your core business. But apart from your core business, you should never go and dilute your focus. That's what I would say. Next one is very important, and that actually applies to leaders. Underestimating their vision. Most of the time I have seen those vision statements are just written on paper. Most employee doesn't know them, and most of the leaders also don't know them. So you need to make sure your vision is communicated clearly. You must have seen Steve Jobs' video on how they have reinvented marketing in Apple. There are several examples like that. The way they try to communicate what they are trying to do in their companies makes or breaks the vision of individuals in the company. And I have seen many times that companies executives fail to do that, and then ultimately that has been shown in their stagnant revenue and profits over the years. The next one is neglecting regulatory and legal compliance. So because of European privacy law and others, even California privacy law, almost every single company which operates in B2C space has to have a very tight privacy requirement. Now, if you are not following those, you should definitely look into that. And if you are going to expose your technology products or services, you have to make sure they are comply with FDA, FCA, and other organization based upon which category you are going to serve. But that is something is a very serious mistake people do all the time. And the last one is burnout. Most of the people think that working more can expedite their startup or business. That might be true in some cases, but most of the cases you will be burned out until unless you are passionate about something deeply. Classic example is Elon Musk. He himself says that nobody should be working like me. He works like 18-20 hours. So unless you want to become a multi-billionaire, and you have to become successful also. He was lucky, he got all the companies successful, but any failure might have just wiped out his entire fortune. So the point is, you should definitely have a balanced approach. Burning out is a very serious threat for yourself, and in case you are going to ask for investments from VC and others, that is another pressure you are going to build on yourself. So take those calls very seriously, because once you have those investment, you will have your burnout rate increased very fast. That's what I have seen. But definitely take care of your health, because health drives all these points. So that's for this business. This video. I think I covered around 16 points. Go through your own cycle and see if any one of those you are missing. If you are missing, try to do that. If you are doing it, try to go deeper so that you will know you can do better. And we can do better every day. That's what I feel personally. That's for the video, and please like, share, and subscribe, and see you in the next video. Thank you. Bye bye.